let's do our quick warm-up. And then obviously throw some comments in there if you do have any suggestions for me. I'm gonna get a little bit closer just because I heard my mic isn't awesome and so I can let a few latecomers in. And we'll just do our high marches. Somebody, actually a couple people yesterday emailed me, just said the exercises may be a little bit challenging for them. So asked if I could do a little bit of an easier session today. So I'm gonna do a little bit easier, but I'm gonna throw in a couple harder ones towards the end. Do remember though, you're just doing what you can. I know it might be discouraging if you see me do these exercises and you're like, I wanna do that, but I can't. It's okay. You know, it's okay that you can't do it, and it's okay that you may not be at the same level as me. I have exercised for quite a long time. Obviously, I went into the profession not only to help myself, but help others. And I know that you know, you see me doing these things. I'm going to back kick a little bit, so I'm going to bring my heel toward my butt. You see me doing these things, and it looks maybe easier than maybe you're finding it. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but don't be discouraged. Just do what you can. So I'm going to do a couple arms up in the air. And again, yeah, I know you can't really see me too well. I'm just trying to stay a bit closer so my mic is working. But again, like I said, I'm going to go a little easier today. I'll save a couple harder ones for the end. But again, that's the reason why I try to throw in some different progressions of the exercise, so then other people at different levels can still participate. Okay, I'll just do my back kind of flexion exercise. So again, curling down from my neck, curling down through my mid and low back, reaching down toward my feet. And then opposite to that, my low back straightens out, my mid back straightens out, my neck straightens out. Actually, you can look up and reach above me. Nice deep breathing as you're doing this. Again, opposite again, I'm going to curl my neck, curl down my mid back, my low back, reach down between my feet, and then up. The opposite movements. Again, if you're feeling dizzy or anything with this, or lightheaded, obviously that's not the point of it. You're going to sit this one out. Again, I hope my audio is okay. I hope you people can hear me. Good. Let's do a couple side lunges here just to stretch out the inner thigh. Let's try to see if I can see my camera to see if you can see my feet. Hoping you can. All right, just a couple more back and forth. Okay, let's get my low favorite mobility. So I'll kind of repeat what we've done in the past just for some consistency here. The hands and knees, we'll start with the cat and cow, tucking my neck or my chin toward my chest. As I do so, I'm also going to arch my shoulders upwards and then tuck my tailbone. And then opposite to that, I'm going to stick my bum out, arch my shoulders downwards or push my chest down toward the floor. And then while I do that, I look upwards. And then I'm not really holding these, I'm just doing through movement or through range. And then opposite to that, sticking my butt back, dropping my chest and looking up. I'll just go down through this a few times, looking down between my legs, arching up my shoulders, tucking my tailbone between my legs, and sticking my bum out, dropping the shoulders, and up. Let's go one more down with my legs, arching the shoulders up, tucking the tail, and then same thing, arching back, dropping the chest and looking up. Good, as you kind of wiggle away, hopefully looks good. For waiting room people, no, we're good. So I'm going to thread the needle, so I'll have my right hand planted in that same kind of 4-point position. I'm going to lift up my left hand, reach my left hand through my armpit of my right, try to keep that perpendicular as best I can. And then opposite to that, I'm going to reach up and above me while I'm rotating, keeping my eyes on my thumb, keeping my, I call that the proud chest, but keeping a nice tall chest. And then rotating back and forth. And slowly, you don't have to necessarily go at my pace. You can go at the pace where you're comfortable with, so you don't have to strain your neck trying to look at the computer screen, your phone. And again, it should not be a painful movement. This should feel kind of nice, a bit of a stretch. Might get a bit of kind of crinking in your back, and that's actually good. You're just moving your back through normal movements that should be normal to you, and it should be used to it. But if you haven't done this kind of stuff before, then your body's going to just be a little stiff, a little tight, but it's a normal thing for your body to do. gonna switch it over, other arm. So I'm gonna have my right hand reaching for my left armpit. And then reaching up and across over. And again, trying to keep that arm perpendicular, so 90 degrees straight up from my body. So my back cracking myself, up and above. And again, my eyes are staying on the thumb of my moving hands, so it keeps my neck activated as well and rotating through the movement. And last one here, up above. Some in the waiting room, I'm just gonna let them in real quick. Sure. All right. Okay, so last mobility here are kind of thread the needle with my leg elevated to get a little bit more hip activation. Same thing, I'm gonna reach my hand through my armpit, up and above 90 degrees. I feel a little bit more stretch when I do this, and as I reach through my armpit, I feel a little bit more on the upper leg in the groin. As I reach up above, I feel more stretch in my left groin or my bottom planted knee side. Like I said, this one is a similar movement, but with the leg up, it allows you to get a bit more rotation through your spine, and then it also gets that hip activated as well. Again, I'm kind of thinking my eyes on my thumb of the moving hand, that tall, proud chest, and again, the arm kind of 90 degrees out or perpendicular from the upper body as best you can. And again, it shouldn't be a painful movement. I'm going to switch it over. Should be quite comfortable, actually feel good. If it's not feeling good, then you're just going to sit it out. So a few of these on this side. Most people will find they're more comfortable on one side. You'll feel I can get further or just feel more comfortable, more natural. That's really normal. Just most people, pretty much everybody has a dominant side and a side that you just feel more comfortable with. So that's totally fine and to be expected. One more. Okay, so we can get into our strength a little bit. I'm going to stand myself up. And like I said, so I did have some comments from people saying that my exercises were a little bit tricky, challenging, I'm moving pretty fast. And again, it's hard to try to cater to a big group. So not even a big group, but a group of people that have different abilities. So we'll do our best. And like I said, I might try to make a couple of these a little easier, but I will get a bit more challenging as well. So if you do feel I need some easier exercises or I just need something a bit more personalized, as we were saying, your physio should have been reaching out to you just to ask how you're doing, really for first and foremost. But if you feel I need a bit more of a personalized kind of session because I'm struggling with what we're doing here, then that's something that we could look into as well down the road. Okay, so I'm going to do a sumo squat. So I'm going to have my leg relatively wide, so they're going to be out, I'd say twice the shoulder width or my hip width. My toe's going to be on maybe a 30 to 45 degree angle, and I'm just going to squat down. So I'm just kind of bring my bum straight down towards the floor. I do still think about, I always kind of see my hips driving behind me. So rather than thinking I'm bending my knees, I'm actually just going to think I'm going to drive my hips back like I'm sitting back onto a chair. I know the arms are always a bit awkward. I always kind of think you can do a few things with them. Crossing over your chest, hands on the hips sometimes, although this kind of gets in the way, I find. Or you can have your hands straight up in front of you. With the legs a little bit wider and the feet on that bit of angle, you should get a bit more activation with your glutes. However, I always like to think as well, just to make sure that you are activating your glutes, you squeeze the bum on the way up and help kind of get that, we call it extension movement, but that kind of straightening of your spine as you stand back to upright in that position. And just like to make sure you get that nice bird. As always, if you're finding this is painful, your knees don't like it, etc., then obviously you're just going to go as deep as you feel comfortable. You may not be able to get as deep as I'm going, or you might be able to get deeper even. You're doing what's right for you, right? Listen to your body. I tell my daughter all the time, listen to your body. Okay, last one. Okay, we'll shake that out a little bit. And I have my little cheat sheet here. Okay, just to make that one a little bit harder, but not much harder, I'm going to try to add a bit of a static hold at the bottom. So we're going to go through that same movement, but we're going to add a 5-second hold at the bottom. We'll see if we can do 5 seconds. So again, my legs kind of doubled my shoulder width or hip width. toes about 30 degrees out or 45, depending on how comfortable you feel with it, you can adjust. So let's go down and hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back up. If you guys are wanting to, you can always do my W or Y arms, I mean. Again, that just adds a little bit more challenge to it. I'm not saying you have to. I might actually not even, if you guys want to, or you can even do what they call it prisoner squats. With these kind of things, if you couldn't go overhead with your hands, just make sure you're relaxing through your neck. You don't want to be straining your neck or kind of pulling on my head. And you want to keep your chest nice and high, so you don't want to start leaning your chest down towards your knees. I stopped counting, but like I said, basically I'm just trying to pause at the bottom for a few seconds. Obviously, the longer you pause, the harder that's going to be. And you're just getting down as deep as you're comfortable going. And if you can't hold it as I'm holding, you just go at your own pace. Like, you don't need to follow me into a mirror, to a T. You just do what you can. Yeah, so I was trying to tell the person on the email, I just said, you know what, just do what you can. It's okay that you can't do what I'm doing. You're doing what you can. And be proud of that. It doesn't really matter, right? We're not trying to compare ourselves to anybody else. Feel you need to be at the fitness level of somebody else. It's really wherever you're at. Okay, let's shake that out. Hopefully you got a bit of a burn with that one. Okay, so my last progression of that exercise will be kind of as we just did it with the static hold, but instead of holding, I'm going to do a calf raise at the bottom. So basically you get to the bottom of that sumo squat and you try to prop yourself up onto your tiptoes, hold it a second or two, and then back up. Okay, so we'll give that a shot. Again, I'm going to get myself into my nice wide hip position, my knees out, toes at a slight angle. Again, I'm going to do the prisoner one. You don't have to. You can have your hands across your chest or straight up in front of you. I'm going to show you a couple of the chest and across the chest. So I'm going to get down to my squat. I'm going to lift my heels off the ground, hold that a second or two, and then back down. So again, this adds obviously a lot more degree of difficulty for those that are finding this already challenging. Without the tippy toe movement, you're just going to get rid of that. So down. Woohoo! Veil there, I just want my camera. Plinths are exposed. Back down. Woo! These are actually pretty challenging for myself too, as you see. So, like I said, I do try to give everybody out there a bit of a challenging exercise. For those that want a bit more, and I do try to give people a little bit of an easier version. So just try to stick with what you can do, right? This should add a bit more kind of calf activation in addition to your quads and your butt burning. I'm hoping most of you guys are getting that out there. Hopefully you're getting that elevated heart rate, because I'm not giving you guys much of a rest in between, and I'm doing that on purpose. I'm trying to kind of keep things moving, kind of maximize the calorie burning, get the heart rate up, because I'm sure for a lot of you, like myself, this is the only exercise I'm getting right now. And without it, I probably wouldn't be exercising. Okay, good. Just shake that out for a second. Take a breather if you have water. I didn't prepare myself. Have some water. Take a breather. Okay. I kind of was thinking about planning through the exercises, and I always like to try and get up and down a bunch of times, or try to stay standing and then do some sitting ones. So that's kind of what I decided. Maybe it's a bit mean. I'm going to call it, we're going to do a similar leg exercise, but just kind of at a different angle. So I'm going to do a split squat or a lunge. Feel free to have a chair beside you to lean, or a wall due to the door frame. Okay, so I'm just going to do a stationary lunge again. Like I said, I'm going to try a simple version. My legs are maybe slightly wider than my hips. One leg in front of the other, obviously. I always think that back knee is dropping straight down to the floor and then coming back up. So I don't think about my right leg or my front leg doing a whole lot. It's more about my back leg as a prime mover. Like I said, I'm just doing an easier version to start. I'm not holding anything. I'm dropping down my knee to the floor, but not necessarily touching the floor. So I'm kind of stopping with about an inch to spare before I touch the ground. And then as I come up, I'm still thinking that glute activation. So I'm kind of think, as I stand back to upright, I'm going to squeeze my butt a little bit, especially on that moving leg or the back leg. And then so not only will I get a bit of thigh burn, which I should be, and hopefully you are too, I'm going to get a bit of a butt activation too. And again, that healthy squeeze at the top. So one more. Good. Okay, we'll switch it over. So other leg forward, other leg back, again about hip width. I'm going to just bend that back knee and then back up. Kind of with this type of movement, you know, that nice alignment. I'm answering the office phones right now. I kind of want to answer that, but I'm going to call them back. All our office phones are forwarded to my cell right now, so try not to call me during the class. I'll call that person back. Okay, so again, we're kneeling down, straight back up. I'm sorry if I cut off mid-sentence there, but we're trying to have that hip, knee, and the foot in that nice straight alignment. We don't want to have that kind of knocking action or a lot of wobbling, especially from that front knee. It's just going to put a lot of strain through your knee, obviously not what we're looking for. Okay, let's take a break for a second. Okay, let's shake, shake, shake. Okay, I'll add a bit more of a cardio component to this one. So basically I'm going to do like a stepping lunge. I'm going to actually step forward and step back as we lunge. So let's just give that a try. And again, if you're finding it really challenging, you've got some balance issues or that type of stuff, then you're going to sit this one out. Or you can just do the static one over again. So I'm just have my hand on my hips just so it's easier for you to see. I'm going to step forward a big step. Again, I'm trying to keep that shoulder width stance. I'm going to push up. As I push up, I don't know if you noticed that, but I kind of push through my heel. So I drive my heel through. And then in one fluid movement, ideally, I'm going to step straight back with that same leg. So I step forward, drive the heel, step quite a wide step back, drive off my toe. And when I step forward, drive off my heel, wide step back, drive off my toe. And again, you're trying to take a pretty long stance. Obviously, you're not going to step so far that I can't get back out of it. Especially with that back one, I find a lot of people when they do this, they take a really short step. They'll step really short, and then my knees and my feet are kind of really close to each other. Obviously not what I'm trying to do. I want kind of some distance between my front foot and my back foot. So with that back step, you want to try to get a nice wide, long step, just to make sure you've got a good space for that lunge and you're doing an effective lunge and not kind of a compromised lunge. Let's go one more, just because I was talking a lot. And again, if you feel you can't keep up with my reps, then you just stop what you need to, right? I'll just spin that around just so you can see. Actually, was I moving? Okay, so I'm going to switch my leg. You don't have to spin around with me. I'm just trying to do it for people's ankles. Switch around over the leg that's moving. Step forward, drive through the heel. Step back, and you're going to drive off your toe. This adds, like I said, I'm just trying to add a bit more of a cardio component to this exercise. And you're just doing what you can as usual. Ideally, if you want, you can drag your arms to, you know, this would be a type of thing if you had some small dumbbells at home. I mean, you can even use water bottles and get creative a little bit, soup cans. Like I said, I like to use laundry detergent. If you've got the liquid laundry detergents or one of the 4-liter milk jugs, you can add a bit of weight and actually do a little bit of upper body as well. I'm really trying to cater these sessions to not have to use any equipment because I don't really know who's out there doing it with me and what kind of equipment you got at home. Do one more on both front and back. Good. So I'm hoping you guys are getting a bit of a burn of that. It should be most of your quads or your front of your thigh. I'm hoping, like I say, if you're squeezing your butt as you get out of it, then you should be getting a bit of a bum burn too. Okay, my next one is going to be a bit more static, but it's not actually an easy exercise at all. It's actually quite challenging. It's actually to target, we call it the VMO. It's kind of the muscle that helps keep your knees in good alignment when you're squatting. And also a muscle that a lot of people don't, I mean, it's a physio stuff, physio stuff, but we just like to make sure that you're keeping good alignment of your knees really most times, and this muscle really helps with that. So what I do is I start in a lunge position. I'm actually going to rest my knee on the ground for this. Ideally, again, you have your chair close to you, maybe doing a door frame up against the wall so you have some balance points. What I'm thinking about doing for this is I'm going to lift my back knee off the ground, you know, maybe 4 or 6 inches or so, 4 to 6 inches, static hold, and then back down. But when I come back down, I'm not going to touch them, it's going to straight back up. Most of my weight is on my back leg, so let's just say 60% at least, if not even slightly more. So I'm almost leaning on that back leg a little bit. So let's try that out and I'll talk it through. So I'm going to lean on my back leg, lift that knee, maybe 4 to 6 inches. Hold 1, 2, 3, and then back down. And just before I touch, I'm going to stride back up. 1, 2, 3. So again, like I said, I'm having the majority of my weight on that back leg. Easier said than done. Most people are going to just want to stand out of it because it's way easier. And you might just need a bit of a rest. Ideally, I'm trying to stay in that low hold and then back down, then back up. Like I said, the majority of my weight's on my back leg. These may look easy, but they're actually crazy hard. And I'm getting a really big burn, so I'm going to stop. And you should really feel that in that inner thigh, the kind of middle, lower part of that inner thigh. These are some fun things to work on at home yourself later on if you feel like you want to try a little bit more. I'm just going back a little bit so I can't see what my legs are too. Just angle that camera just a little bit so you can see my legs a bit better. Okay, so same thing, like I'm in static. Start with my one knee down, one leg up. I'm going to think about most of my leg weight is on that back foot. And then, like I said, by driving my knee off the ground, using the strength of my back leg, hold a few seconds with my knee slightly off the floor. Back down, and just as I touch, I'm going to come straight back up. As I was talking about earlier, usually you're going to find there's a dominant side. So you'll notice one leg feels much easier, and for me, this leg feels a lot easier. Even though it's not necessarily easy, it does feel slightly easier. And then again, I should be getting quite a lot of activation in the back quad. So the top of your thigh and that back leg should be on fire right now. And like I said, if you can't hold the depth, then you're just going to straighten out a little bit more. Obviously, when you get out of it, it doesn't hurt as much, or burn as much, is maybe a better word. But you're trying to kind of keep yourself in that low squat position to get a really good activation in that VMO. Let's go one more. Oh gosh. Again, it's that kind of inner thigh there that you should really be getting that activation. Okay, I'm hoping your legs are kind of on fire right now. It's kind of the point. But again, you're always just going to your own ability and to where you're at. So again, don't feel you have to be where I am. And you're just kind of trying to be satisfied with what you got. And again, you just set your goal, right? I mean, if that's something you want to do, then you've got to work on it, right? So again, anything else? Okay, my next exercise, I call it like a bear crawl. And we'll do some progressions of this exercise. So again, if you just need a sip of water, just catch your breath. Obviously, you can sit one of these out if you feel just need to sit one out. If you're feeling a little winded, etc. Okay, so my bear crawl position, at least, it's starting on your hands and knees. But what I'm going to actually do when we get started is I'm going to lift my knees and just go for my tiptoes and my hands. And again, for those of you who are struggling because of pain in your wrists, your feet, ankles, etc., might not be the best exercise for you right now. So just either repeat something from earlier or just have a march on the spot and sit it up. Okay, so I'm going to start this. Again, it's going to be a static hold to start. I think about a little bit of an elbow bend. So my elbows are soft or slightly bent. My hands are directly below my shoulders. My knees are ideally quite close to in terms of like below my knee, but they might be, my hips are, sorry, my knees might be slightly behind my hips, but relatively close. And I'm trying to keep my knees quite close to the mat. So I'm not like elevating up here like a downward dog, but my knees are basically just hovering over. I would say a little bit more of my weight is on my hands than on my feet. So again, it's probably a 60-40, if not a little bit more than that, on my hands versus my feet. I'm just going to hold this. As I hold it, also the posture stuff in play here. So my elevated, my ears away from my shoulders. My chin kind of slightly tucked in so it's not too far from my chest. I'm not looking upwards. And I'm engaging through my tummy as well a little bit, so that little bit of squeeze from my stomach and even with my butt. Oh. Okay, so I'm just having a quick breather. Take a little bit of a break there. Again, you're finding that's really challenging in your hands and your wrists if you have that flat palm like that. And some people do find that's kind of painful. You can always go from a fist. But again, that may or may not be easy for certain people. Okay, I'm going to do another one of those, but instead of static, I'm actually going to move forward and back. So I'm basically going to weight shift forward, and I'm going to weight shift forward toward my hands, and I'm going to weight shift back toward my feet. And in this circumstance, you may not have the weight directly below. You might not have the weight directly below your hands. So I'm going to try that first. So I'm going to forward shift. So I'm going to lean quite a lot more into my hands. Be aware of your wrist.
Hi, everybody.
And your wrist. Done, Alyssa. And then we lean back. So again, I'm just going to roll onto my hands a bit more and then roll off. This again adds a lot of stress to your wrist. So again, as long as you're comfortable with it, proceed. If you're finding that's like pinching or sore, then obviously that's not what we're going after. And then back. So again, you're trying to keep your core engaged. You're being conscious of what your posture is doing. And like I said, you're basically loading up your upper body. For those who want a little bit more activation here, like I don't really feel much, it's really a matter of bending your elbows more. So I'm going to do that for you guys just to have a look at what that looks like. The more you bend your elbows, the more this exercise adds difficulty. So if you want to make this way more challenging, it's basically just add up the elbows. Get a lot of bend through there. The more the bend, the more you're going to get. Do a couple more just for you guys to give this a try and experiment a little bit. And the last one. Okay. So I'm hoping you guys get a little bit of activation there. That was a pretty challenging exercise. Like I said, as much as you feel, you can challenge yourself. We're working up a good sweat here today. I'm hoping you guys are too a little bit. Again, getting the elevation of the heart rate once a day is always a good thing. And I'm trying to keep this 30 minutes. So again, we're getting that recommended amount of daily exercise, especially if we consider this pretty vigorous, which I would. Okay, so our last exercise for today before we stretch is a shoulder tap in that position. Easier said than done. So again, if you're finding that last one was hard enough, you're sticking with that one. If that last one was even too hard for you, you're backing off to that first progression, etc. Or sit down and maybe walk into squat. Okay, so I'm going to try that again. So I'm getting my bear a little forward for you guys, just so you can have a better angle on that. Get in my bear crawl position, and what I'm going to do is tap my opposite shoulder. So I'm going to lift my left hand, tap my right shoulder, lift my right hand, tap my left shoulder. Really what I'm trying to do, and hopefully you can see from the camera if you're looking, I'm keeping everything virtually still. So really there's no movement in my back or my hips. Obviously there's a bit of a weight shift happening, but I'm not like leaning off or like rocking one side to the other. I'm virtually still minus my hands coming up and down. And again, if you can, a little bit more weight through the hands than your legs. Again, that's easier said than done. And if you find this is easy, a little bit of activation of the elbows, so again, the elbows a bit more bent, will dramatically increase the amount of difficulty this exercise is. Obviously, I'm still keeping my stomach strong, engaging through my core to allow my back to be strong and safe. Squeeze through my butt. We'll just do maybe up to 20 of these. I wasn't really counting. I'm getting pretty winded, as you can hear. So I'm almost done myself. Do a couple more on each side. All right. That pretty much does it for today for our strength. Let's do a couple stretches. I'll start with a hip flexor because we're in this position already. So on my lunge position, one leg down, one leg up. Knee resting comfortably on the ground. Call it a pelvic tilt. So I'm going to tuck my tailbone or kind of press my pelvis forward. As I do that, I'm going to lean forward into my front leg. Should get a good stretch through the top of my back thigh. You hear I'm pretty winded myself. So it does 3 weeks of not exercising and then doing 4 days in a row. That will do it to you. But again, I'm grateful to you guys for being out there. Try opposite leg so I can switch you around. It's actually forcing me to exercise because I can guarantee you all that if I didn't have this class to do, I'd probably be still sitting on my computer right now, working like a maniac. So as busy it is for me to do these classes, it's actually a blessing in disguise because it forces me to do some exercise that I normally probably wouldn't get myself around to doing. Okay, I'm just going to do a bit of a side stretch. So I'm just going to have kind of one knee down, one leg out to the side. So I'm kind of straightening out. And basically what I'm doing is kind of sitting my bum back towards the ground. So I start like up and high. So I have kind of a straight line from my hip down. But what I'm going to try to do is start leaning my bum backwards towards my heel. And then as doing so, I should feel a good stretch, mostly towards my knee, but on the inner thigh. If you're not, you might just need to get a little bit further down and kind of lean forward a little bit more. I personally don't need to do that because I'm pretty tight there, so I feel a pretty significant stretch without. But for those that maybe don't, it'd be a little bit more kind of leaning on your hands while kind of sticking your bum back towards the heel. You should get a pretty significant stretch down in that inner thigh, stretched out towards your knee. And remember to take some nice deep breaths. It's actually a great time to do your deep breathing exercises, some de-stress. Flip that around. Something I did want to mention up there to people is, you know, make sure you're taking care of yourself. I was talking with my business mentors this morning, and they kind of had the airplane analogy with the oxygen mask. You know, you got to put the mask on yourself before you can take care of other people. I might have said this before, but if you're not taking care of yourself by getting a good night's sleep, eating well, exercising regularly, then it's going to be hard to help other people or even just stay calm through all the craziness that's happening right now. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself too. Okay, let's just do one more stretch across your chest. Long neck. I'm going to bring my hand across my body and then use my other hand to just draw that leg or arm a little bit closer to myself. You don't have to be in this kind of half lunge. You can be sitting there. Just be comfortable. I'm just kind of in this position because it feels like I can get a better view of the camera. And again, that should be a stretch through the shoulder, maybe down my arm slightly. Remember, try to keep the deep breathing. It's hard for me to do my deep breathing exercise while I'm talking, but it's kind of like 2-3 seconds in through your nose. Hold the top for a second or two, and then out through the pursed lips like you're blowing up a birthday candle. Let's do a few of those in. Hold, and then no. You just relax the stretch. I'm just do one more breath in. Hold, and then out.